Hi Alphas, it's your girl, and today I'm going to start something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm going to do a skin series, which is basically showing you the different ways that I apply foundation. It could be different foundations, how I apply my concealer, how I prep my skin, and I think that this would be helpful for anyone who is kind of heading out of their 20s and into their 30s. I find myself not liking the super flawless look of makeup anymore. I really like my skin to shine through. I like to be able to cover areas that I want without it looking heavy. And I thought that I would dedicate more videos to, not everyone, but like to women who want a different approach to makeup applications. So, you know, something, like I said, not super heavy, you're not into too much color, but if you want to wear color, you want to be able to do it in a way to where it's not obnoxious. Like in the past, I've worn so much color all over my lids, my lips, and I just find that it just doesn't look good on me anymore. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. That doesn't mean that someone else can't wear it that way, but just personally, my tastes have changed in makeup, so I thought I would kind of start all over with basics. My goal today is to give myself a nice dewy look with a little coverage, just because I'm dealing with some redness around my nose from allergies. It's just killing me. I like to use flimsy, non-dense brushes. This is not a foundation brush, but I like to use it as one. It's a contour brush from Real Techniques. It's super old. To use something like this from Profusion, and you can see it's not as thick and dense. Kind of want, let's try this brush. I usually use this one for powder, but we might play with it today for foundation. I've been loving the Vanish foundations a lot. It sits on my skin really well. It looks really nice on top of the skin. So I mix the shade Amber and Honey, and sometimes I'll mix in the tan one. It just really depends on how yellow my skin is. It looks kind of yellow today. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like a good match. So I'm gonna start off here. So I like to use this brush. This is a contour brush from Real Techniques, but it's just a really good brush for me to apply foundation. And I also love that you don't need a ton of product for this foundation. It really does a good job at covering imperfections on the skin. So I'm just going to apply this. When you're in your late 20s, early 30s, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I know when my mom was in her like 30s, she stopped wearing foundation. She stopped with all of that stuff. She used to wear all, you know, foundation. I mean, she still wore lipstick because she loved her lipstick, but she really stopped wearing that stuff, and I just didn't understand it in my early 20s. I was like, oh, glam, makeup. These days I still want to look glam and still have makeup on, but I want to do it in a way that I feel for myself is appropriate. That doesn't mean that someone who wears full coverage and flawless bases it's not appropriate for them. It totally is appropriate for anybody. You can do what you want. That's what I love about, you know, preference and makeup. But just for me in general and my style, and if you come to my channel to watch my videos and my tutorials, my style has evolved and changed a lot. And I don't like a lot of things that I used to do. Like I kind of like look back and I'm like, what were you thinking? You know, and I kind of stopped following a lot of trends. I still do the trends, but I do it in a way where it works for me. And it has been helping so much with the makeup products that I decide to buy, the looks that I go for. I want to look beautiful and pretty, but I also don't want to wear a ton of foundation doing it because I have a toddler. She likes to smack at my face and pull, and it's just a whole, I have learned. And with my oldest, she did the same thing, but she's not as aggressive as Zadie. Zadie is my sassy baby, so. Now, doing my foundation lighter doesn't mean I don't like full coverage foundation or full glam. It doesn't mean that. It just means that I'm approaching the whole glam process a little bit differently. I just like non-heavy looking beautiful makeup, glam makeup, like Charlotte Tilbury. I think Charlotte Tilbury, Monica Blender. Who else have I've been watching Katie Jane Hughes. Like, they do all of these makeup looks that are super glam and super pretty, but their technique is so light and gentle, and they barely touch your face with product, and it works. And that's what I've been into, so that's what I've been doing. I'm going to use the Il Makiage BFF Perfecting Concealer Longwear, which I also liked. I didn't mind this concealer at all. So I'm going to use this brush, and I'm just going to run this all over the face. Now I am going to go in with a lighter concealer because this one is more of my skin tone, but I want to cover up some things. I'm going to take a little bit of the Too Faced, which is a tad bit lighter than that Il Makiage one. And I'm going to use that to brighten up the center of the face. Stupid hair. If you ever have like hair on your face, take your brush and run it upwards and it'll get it without you digging into your foundation or concealer. And I'm using light pressure to apply this, but giving it a flawless finish with the blend. I'm going to set my eyes with Laura Mercier's Secret Brightening Powder in number 2. This is the perfect color for me. Perfect. You'll see it. So I'm going to take this brush from It's My Ray Ray. It's the number 4, and I'm going to go into the lid, and I'm just going to tap. Before I do that, I'm going to use my fingers to kind of get rid of that creasing. Press it out, and then tap. And I'm applying this right around the eyes. I'm going to bring it to the center of the face, right in here. I use this powder everywhere, even though I think it's a under eye powder. I use it everywhere because it's the perfect color. It looks like my skin tone. All right. And the smile lines. I'm going to avoid putting it on the tip of my nose. I kind of want that to be dewy. So what I've been using is this brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk. It was a part of a collection. I don't think she has it anymore. I think it went on clearance. But I didn't know what to use it for, and then I started using this for my contour and my blush, and I have been, talk about that itchiness. I've been enjoying it. I've been using it with Charlotte Tilbury's Film Star. I use the color Dark. And I'm just going to dust this all over very gently so I'm not disturbing the product. They're already laid down because I did not put powder there. And I don't intend on putting powder there. So this gives me a lighter application when it comes to contour, bronzing my face, and I can always build it up, but I love doing it like this first because I can lay down a layer and then just build up in areas where I want it to be more bronzy or darker, or you can just keep going back and forth and layering. and this is barely touching my skin, so it's not messing up the foundation in any way. It's not bunching it up or anything. It's perfect. I need to do my hair. I think I'm gonna straighten my hair. That's what I feel like doing. All right, so this blush is a universal blush for me. It works with all of my eye looks. So I'm just gonna use it for my face today. It's Peach Velvet by an 07. It's probably one of my all-time favorite blushes. It's the perfect peachy color. And it just works with every makeup look, no matter if it's a warm look or a cooler tone look, it just works. So I'm gonna go back in with that brush and mix. Blend, blend, blend. I like to add blush to the forehead so it's consistent. I like consistency in the makeup. Alright, so before I move further with the face, I'm just going to let the makeup marinate on my face because complexion, it changes. So I might have to go back in after it sets a little bit. So I am going to go in with eyes. So my favorite powder to use as a finishing, well, it is a finishing powder, but this one, and Hourglass has a really good one. It's called Ambient Light. But I just like to use like a nice fat fluffy brush and just load this brush up. And I apply this all over the places that I did not set my makeup. So essentially I am setting my makeup, but I use it to kind of blur out the edges of my contour, my bronzer, my blush, and I just go over it, and it's my color, so it doesn't add any color or anything, but it does add like a luminous feel to my skin. I don't want to say it has a shimmer, but it's very similar like the Ambient Light, where it's just very luminous and it looks very pretty on the skin. I haven't used Addiction for a few weeks, so I think I'm going to use Laura Mercier's Addiction. This is my favorite highlighter from Laura Mercier. And I like to use this around my brow bone. I really like how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed my tips and tricks on how I like to get ready. I'm sure I will do more videos like this, so stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!